Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Bill Switzer. Welcome to the EDF Motorsports GT4 TCR Challenge, Season 4, Round 3. Tonight we're at Catalunya, which is in Barcelona, and ought to be an interesting little get-together this evening. In the booth with me this evening, I have Stacy Jeffrey. Excuse me. Good evening, Stacy.
Hi, Bill. How's it going?
Good. How are you? And I see Yaz Samaya's with us. Hello, Yaz.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Yaz, I can barely hear you. I don't know about everybody else, but you're very low, volume-wise. So anyway, so Stacy, how much do you know about Catalunya or Circuit de Barcelona?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. It's where they hold the Grand Prix. It's a relatively, I would call it a technical course more than a really speed course. There's a lot of turns in it, up and down, various types of corners, and ought to be an interesting place for this particular group to run. I think GT4s and TCRs ought to put on a really good show here. And also in the booth, I forgot, is our director and producer, excuse me, Sam, for forgetting you, Sam Boozin. Good evening, Sam.
Yep, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Bill.
Sorry about that, mate. Anyway, the reason I'm kind of upside down is because I got here last minute and all of a sudden discovered I had to open the show. I had nothing ready to tell you. So anyway, yes, have you done much racing here?
Not on the classic course.
Ah, okay.
I've been around here a few times. It's a good. I mean, the classic course is slightly different, different layout, a little bit older than the new one, flowy. A little bit, as I say, flowy. It's also a lot of stop and start. Some good technical corner that you need to get through. Yeah, we'll see. I think the nice thing this week is that the G4s and TCRs aren't very wide split. I think there's about 3 or 4 seconds a lap in there for the faster guys. So if there are anybody slow in the GT4 field, they definitely going to get mixed up with the TCRs, and that will just make things interesting.
Yeah, excellent. And we've been joined by our regular master of ceremonies. I see Clyde Whiting. Good evening, Clyde.
Evening, Bill. Evening, everybody. Yeah, sorry for my tardiness, but I needed to eat. Yes, I am here. I am thoroughly looking forward to this tonight. Not a track that I've driven myself. I've done the GP version, but not this historic version. Don't know a great deal about it. Sam, have you driven this one before? Just to put you on the spot.
Excuse me. The last one I drove, the historic version, was on GTR 2, like more than 10 years ago. So no idea how it is on iRacing. But I ate the new version. That's all I can say.
Okay. Let's just have a look at where we stand. Now we've had a couple of rounds. So in GT4, Tyler Newitt currently leads the way with 380 points, with Rob Venn in second with 319, and Wobbly Niekamp is in third with 307. In TCR, Mark Draper leads the way after a couple of wins with 398. Frank Thibault in second with 298, and Jamie Wilson in third with 287. In the team standings, Result Clothing iRacing team currently lead the way on 549, with Next Level E-Series team on 517, and Work Guard by Result in third on 499. So let's start with Yaz. Who is your favourite for tonight?
Based on last week, I think Wobbly and Tyler are going to be at the thirds again. I'm hoping for another Humdinger. And then, yeah, hopefully we can see a bit of Rob Venn and Stefan Goebel up there. trying to keep up with him and make it a good mix in the GT4s.
And Bill, whose race are you going to spoil?
Well, I tell you, I think Mark Draper so far is the man to beat. I gotta believe I'd pick him in TCR, and I have to agree with Yaz. I think Wobbly Kneecaps is going to come through this week and win GT4.
And is Stacey with us, or is she just
Stacey's here
loitering in the background?
I'm here tonight, Clyde.
Okay.
You will know if you've been there since the start. Just saying.
I had to eat. I'm sorry. I'm still growing, so
no, you don't have to eat.
No, I do. Stacey, so first of all, are you on your new laptop?
I certainly am. Nice and shiny new.
Excellent. So as Bill reminded you, do not take a bath with it. Where are your loyalties lying tonight in this field?
Okay, well, I'm hoping our lovely Tyler Newitt's going to take a win tonight. Hopefully I haven't jinxed him for that, so hopefully he'll be okay. Of course, I'd like one of the result team to win, but I think Lee's one to watch tonight, if I'm honest.
I think that that TCR field is getting stronger and stronger myself. Currently, we have Rob Venn leading the way in GT4 in his McLaren, with Tyler Newitt second in his Porsche, and Simon Van Dijk in third in another McLaren. In TCR, we have Lee Bowden leading the way, Jamie Wilson in second, and Carl Hardy in third. So I think if I had to ruin somebody's race tonight, I never ever bet against Jamie Wilson. I say this time after time after time. He's just he's a thoroughly nice bloke, and also an awesome iRacer. But there's certainly some competition out there in TCR. Our sort of very short GT4 field. So if you're watching and you want to take part, then get in touch. Rob Venn up there. Cool. Can you bet against Rob? I don't really know. You would have to say Tyler, wouldn't you, as a favourite? But Rob's certainly taking it to him at the moment. So, Bill, you may not know the answer to this. Sam might be the one to answer this. What is the difference with this track compared with this standard GP track?
I really don't know, other than I think that, pardon my French, stupid ass chicane they got near the end of this track, I think, is eliminated in the Classic. You don't have to go through all those left, right. See, he's going straight, and if you're following, who is that? Rob Venn. He went right around rather than doing that right, left, right thing through those.
Yeah, you can actually see that chicane, can't you?
Yep.
Even though they don't use it. So
yeah, that was a good view of it right there. Kind of. And in the prediction for the driver, I thought that Wobbly Kneecaps was out there, but it's actually Simon Van Dijk. So I'll stick with him. That's fine.
Yeah, it looks like Wobbly's not put a time in yet, so we know how quick he is. So
he is here.
He's definitely in the session. He's on screen now.
I'll be darned. All right, I'll stick with Wobbly.
Yeah, just hasn't set a time yet. Stacey, how's Martin's practice been going with the result team?
It's been going pretty well. He did well last night, and he won in his split that he did. Cole's given me a bit of feedback and said he's coming on really, really well. But I don't think he's a huge fan of this track, if I'm honest. And I think that's the same for a lot of the guys. They're not a huge fan of this track. Apart from Cole. Cole seems to really like this track for some reason.
Yeah, we'll run out of fuel then.
Well, as we all know, Carl is different.
Oh, he's very different, yes. Yes. And Yaz, a lot, as Stacey's saying, a lot of these people are saying that they don't like the track, but we don't pick the schedule for this series. We literally follow the iRacing schedule. And as I said, that Yaz just disappeared and came back again, but now he's muted. Okay, so we'll ignore Yaz for a minute. Oh no, there he is. He's back. Yaz, I was just saying about we don't set the tracks for this series. We follow the official iRacing schedule. So these drivers, even though they don't like the track, they've got to put their big boy pants on and get on with it.
I think also following the iRacing schedule also helps with practice for these guys. I mean, they do the official races, every week as training for this. So as much as you might not like it, you do have ample opportunity and ample time to practice on these things.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a nuisance, but at the same time it works.
Exactly. Yes. Just let me catch up on the chat whilst we're there. Evening to James, regular viewer. Nice to see you again. Marco Lewert's on there as well. He should be bloody driving, but we'll let him off this time. I know he's had a lot on his plate with the paint packs. So yeah, guys, we know we've got a short GT4 field. Wobbly Knee Camp has actually put it up into third place at the moment, but we know they're still going to give us a fantastic race. And the TCR side of things, I don't know, it's just, you look at that field, and even Pete, Pete does get some luck sometimes. Any one of those drivers could win this race.
Yeah, definitely. This has turned out to be really great for TCR, and you're absolutely correct. There isn't one guy in that listing that can't win this race. Really, it's I love it. It's really, I was never a big fan of TCR when it first came out. I mean, I do like spec racing, but I don't know. I thought it was rather boring. But I'll tell you, it's turned into a heck of a. I was totally wrong, like I usually am, and it's turned into a heck of a battle.
Yeah, I just looked. Pete is racing, so there's someone that cannot win the race today.
Who? Oh,
Pete.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a bit slow, mate. And we've just heard from Julia Bowden. See, I'm getting it right. Is that on the Twitch chat? Is it, Sam? Or Facebook, sorry, Facebook. I can see the little symbol now. And as per usual, Clyde is right. It is pronounced Bowden and not Bowden. So next person to say Bowden is going to have to put a pound in the swear box.
Well, wait a minute now. I contacted Lee, and I asked him one day, I said, is it pronounced like the front of the ship, bow, or is it like something you put on a package to somebody, bow? And he said bow, so... I don't know.
Well,
maybe
I'm not sure who Julia is. I'm sure she'll let us know. I don't know if that's Lee's mum, Lee's wife, Lee's sister. I'm not going to argue with her.
No, I would take her word for it rather than Lee's any day. Okay.
I think Lee was just telling us that because he figured we were going to get it wrong anyway, so we probably would say bowed and then got it right for accident.
So we are into the last minute of qualifying, and I do like Lee's paint scheme as well. Just incidentally, as it was on my screen, Rob Venn still on pole position,
and his new mount, no less, too.
Yeah, I say that in a surprised voice, and I shouldn't, because we've seen the improvements in Rob Venn over the last 2 seasons. I've been saying for a long time, because I've known Rob for many years, what a good racer he is. And, once he is used to driving these cars and back into iRacing, he will be right up there. And he's proven me right again. And he's got stablemate Tyler Newitt behind him as well, so that could bode well for the start of the race if Tyler was to play rear gunner for Rob, or Rob might just drive away from him.
You had mentioned that Rob was a returned gladiator anyway from years gone by.
Oh, and we just had it confirmed that Julia is Lee's stepmom, so I am most definitely not arguing with that.
We're not arguing with Julia. No way.
Even though I was right. So we've got Sebastian Prang on. Did I say I was right, by the way? I did, just in case
Yes, Clyde, yes.
I was right.
Continue, please.
Sebastian Prang on the chat saying Stefan for a podium today. Good race to all. So, yeah, I must admit, I'm not going to disagree because there's only 5 cars in the GT4s. So he's got a 3 in 5 chance. So better than a 50% odds of him finishing on the podium. What's happening in TCR? Mark Draper's gone to the top of the field. Lee Bowden second, Jamie Wilson third at the moment, but Carl Hardy and Martin Brennan are both on track, I believe. Yes, they are. Let's just see if either of them manage to improve. Carl's not setting anything alight. Martin's done his fastest first sector, but slower in the second sector. He is currently... I've got no idea because I've got everything loaded wrong tonight. So I'm going to shut up, let this session finish, and get everything sorted out.
On my screen right now, I'm showing Rob Ben doing the fastest GT4 lap. Very interesting.
I think you mentioned about being up there. I think it's a combination of the most week coming out with massive improvements in the last couple of seasons. But also, from looking at the official races, the McLaren's seems to be faster than the other cars. I'm not saying that that's the only reason it's on top, but I mean, it's just a combination of these things. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out in the race.
Yeah, nice to actually see that people always do take up the new cars. Paying $15 for a car instead of, I don't know what one of these McLaren GT4s would be, but I would say they're probably somewhere around £60,000-70,000. So yes, you get to own your very own license for one on iRacing. Obviously, the BMW has been wrecked a little bit with the latest BOP, although Wobbly's sticking with it. We don't penalise drivers for changing cars in this series. So let's see if he sticks with it for the season. Bill, over to you. I believe our official starting grid is up.
Okay, GT4 pole sitter Rob Ben for BSTV Esports Yellow. Second is Tyler Newitt, BSTV Esports Green. Third is Wobbly Kneecap, Next Level East Series. Fourth is Stefan Goebel, VTS Germany. And fifth, Simon Van Dyke, Next Level Esports, whatever that says. I can't read it, I'm sorry. And TCR, we got Mark Draper on the pole for work guard by result. Second is Lee Bowden, Sim Racing's Summit channel. Third is Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera. Fourth, Carl Hardy, Safeguard by result. Fifth, Gary Craig, BSTV Esports Green. Sixth is Pete Bingham, BSTV Esports Green. Seventh, Frank T-Bosch, Result Clothing, iRacing. Eighth is Martin Brennan, Safeguard by Result. Ninth is David Evers, Result Clothing, iRacing. And 10th, Pete Van Gool, Work Guard by Result. That's your field.
So well done, Bill. You got Lee's name right and totally cocked up David's.
I did.
It's David Ayres.
What did I say?
Evers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he calls it that every week. So
I'm terribly
Should have
sorry.
gone to Specsavers. Right, we are very shortly going green, guys, because it's
they're coming down to it.
pace lap here. We got this last right-hand turn. The pace
card's
car
in.
had
Yep.
gone in. And when he's Rob got it, he's gone early. He's tried to catch him by surprise. Wobbly Kneecamp has got his nose in front of Tyler Newitt. And he's in a good position there because the next turn is a right then a left.
good jump there by Robin to start the race, which is I don't think anybody was expecting that.
No, he went very early, didn't he? Which it's his choice. So yeah, Tyler's had to tuck into third. TCRs are away. Good jump by Mark Draper. Lee Bowden and Jamie Wilson currently having a squabble over second. Carl Hardy's looking to pick up the pieces behind them.
And Gary Craig and Pete Bingham hanging right on there too.
2 BSTV eSport green cars. Carl Hardy's putting a move on Jamie Wilson. And he's going to get that done from there.
Wow.
Clean start for everybody. So if it stays like it's through the race, well done.
Track now swings back in Jamie's favour for this left-hander. So Gary will have to drop in behind. It's 2 result boys having a good fight at the back there. That's Frank T-Bosch and Pete Van Gool. Oh, what's Wobbly done? Wobbly's had a wobble.
What happened to him?
Surely got to be all on his lonesome. Whoa! Took a bit of a turn there.
Yeah. Oh, we hit the wall hard too, boy.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage on the front of that BMW.
Oh yeah, looks like a pug dog now, doesn't it? Yeah.
Let's hope for his sake the handling is okay and he can at least get through to the pit stop window.
He's the only man that's really changed his name thanks to Clyde Whiting.
I think a lot of the guys in that league are seeing it our way and changing their names to what we call them, which could
easier.
Yeah, Marco Loer is saying on there that the signature move of Stefan is always losing places at the start, which is very true. And he's also said, is it possible for Yaz to increase his microphone level?
Yeah, he sounded pretty low to me too, but...
You want to hear more of him?
Yep. What do you think? I'm going to try a few things, yeah?
I don't know whether this is true or not. Why am I showing Stefan Goebel and Pete Bingham crashed before the green flag? I don't know.
Well, Stefan Goebel's plugging along fine, I think.
Just a wobble, I think. So on the plus side for Wobbly Knee Camp, he didn't fall into the clutches of the TCR field. So he hasn't got to try and battle his way through those guys.
Pete's moving inside of Gary Craig, or was that Gary Craig going past? I don't know who the heck that was.
That was Pete going past.
Okay.
Gary.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Perhaps we'll. We know that Gary usually drops in for an interview. We'll try and remember to ask Gary. It may just be me, but he seems to have lost a little something this season. Maybe he doesn't like the updates to the car or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just dreaming it. Wobbly Knee Camp has had to come in to get those repairs done. He does get a fast repair, but only one.
As a matter of fact, the little battle between the BSTV Esports Green was Martin Brenner was moving up behind him, harassing Gary Craig.
So Tyler and Rob are actually pulling a little bit of a lead. Tyler has just set the fastest lap of the race with a 152.27. Stacey, any swear words yet?
Nothing at the moment, but I was looking a bit concerned there because it looked like Martin's been glitching and he was coming off the screen.
Yep. Yeah, he was. You're right, Stacey. He was disappearing on and off. I saw that too.
That's a good tactic to frighten the other drivers.
Yeah, stealth. Yeah, that's right.
Silent assassin, hopefully.
Yeah.
Can't get blamed for that this evening, as I'm tethering for the moment. So just to keep off the internet because it hasn't been too good.
Okay. Evening to Alan Toon on the chat. driver that I would love to see in this series, if I'm honest. But so far, he's managed to avoid us.
Carl Hardy is really close to the back of Lee Bowden, along with Jamie Wilson, who's moved in for that battle as well.
Yeah, Jamie, again, Jamie won't be too upset about losing those positions at the start because he's a wily old fox. He'll be doing what he can to save fuel, save tyres, just keep in touch, use the tow where he can, and he, providing he doesn't have an accident or get caught up in anybody else's accident, he's always there or thereabouts at the end.
Yeah, Jamie, at the last one, you were missing, Clyde, and you had computer errors, and when I spoke with him in the chat after the race, he just had a bad night. He had a tough time getting a hold of the track and this, that, and the other thing. But very responsible, very clean racer. Really knows his stuff. He is a great guy and a tremendous driver.
Okay, so here at Whiting Towers, it's like 800 degrees, so I've just put my aircon on. If anybody can hear it, let me know, and I will try and move my microphone out of the way.
I know, I was looking at your weather the other day. It looks like you're having a heat wave over there. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's all going to die a death tomorrow.
Is it?
We got a northerly wind coming in, so...
Yep.
Yes, that will be the end of that.
Probably like what's the weather like? It's probably like a winter's day in.
Actually, in the southern hemisphere, Yaz is moving into wintertime, aren't you? That's right.
Yeah, they deserve it.
I don't think they're winners like yours, Clyde.
So, Jamie,
whoa!
That's Princess Pete. What's he done?
He got a little bit squirrely there.
And an impression of Nikita Mazepin.
It looks like it, yeah. Pete has a spin. Yeah, he's just carried a bit too much on the way in, got some grass. Obligatory slow-mo.
And Gary Craig almost customized his rear panel, too. That was pretty close.
Being fair to Pete, he did well there to hang on to it.
He really did, and good avoidance by, I'm not sure whether it was Frank T. Bosch or...
that was David Evers.
David Evers, yeah.
Fell into my trap. He actually, I don't know whether you watched the Bristol dirt race, Bill, but...
no, I didn't.
That looked a bit like the NASCARs going around the Bristol dirt track with Pete coming back there. Yeah, you can see that coming a mile off. Like to see that again if possible, Mr. Cameraman.
It was Stefan and Simon Van Dyke. Stefan Goebel and Simon Van Dyke. Here's the replay.
It's not a late. We're showing him his nose.
Yeah, he's already side by side.
I think that area, is, yeah, that's to me, that's Stefan's corner there.
Yeah.
And I think Simon turned in on him.
Simon looked like he was giving him room, and then all of a sudden he came back in. Here's another replay. Okay, we're on board with Simon.
It was like, oh, shit, corner, better turn. See here, he's right over this side. Stefan's right over the other side, and then he just turns to take the racing line.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, you would have hoped that Simon's spotter would have been telling him that he had a car on the outside there, or the inside.
Yeah, it's a little too late when your spotter tells you just had a collision with a guy alongside of you.
And Marco's saying that when showing Pete, it's always a slow-mo. It's not. That's Pete's speed. But it's nothing to do with the cameras.
Poor Pete.
In fact, sometimes we speed it up to make him look better.
You know, Stacy, everybody is brainwashed. Poor Pete. Actually, when he commentates now, he tells you how slow he is, you know, all the time, because people just browbeat the hell out of him.
Oh, bless
So
him.
Simon's ended up in the pits after that contact with Stefan.
Carl Hardy and Jamie Wilson going at it behind Lee Bowden. Now they're side by side.
One's going back and forth. I think Paul's shown some good pace again this week.
And Carl's falling behind Jamie Wilson there.
There's a comment there on the radio from Carl Hardy that I'm not going to repeat because nobody watching would ever believe me. So every time they come up to that, where they're in this old part of the track, I'm thinking, oh, he's took that too wide. He should have turned in there.
Yeah. See, that's apparently another change in the track. I was going to point that out before. That the one I ran on with a supercar, you had to turn really sharp to the left there and then back to the right. It was really slick through there. Simon Van Dyke is disconnected.
He has, hasn't he? Yes.
And Wobbly is in the midst of the TCR cars. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, it was called Stefan Gordon, and for the podium looks like they made a good bit there.
Yeah, that was Sebastian, wasn't it? Sebastian Prang.
It's nice to see Rob Vin still in the lead.
Yeah, and he's pulling a gap on Tyler as well. Last time I looked, that was 1 second. It's hovering between 1.3 and 1.4 now. However, we know how light-footed Mr. Newitt, the smiling assassin, is. So he's probably only used a thimble of fuel so far.
Well, there's a little bar chart on the bottom on the inside and the right, comparing Rob Ben's laps against Tyler Newitt.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting again to see what happens in the pit strategy. That being said, Tyler and Rob are in the same team, so I'm sure they'll have shared some tips and some strategies in there. So Rob wouldn't be completely blind to what Tyler has got up his sleeve.
Looks like Pete is the meat in a Result Clothing sandwich right here between David Evers and Frank T-Bush. Pete's catching the toe going down the front straight. Popping out. He should be able to get this done, I think. Frank tried to cross back behind him, but gave him plenty of room. Good job.
Yeah, that was racy from Mr. Bingham.
You made that look easy.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. But Pete's very much like me. He, you know, will take 4 laps to get past somebody, eventually set them up, get past, and then crash, and they come past you again. And it's really, really annoying. But he's doing all right at the moment.
Do you think you've just jinxed him now?
Yeah, possibly. Hopefully. Jamie Wilson now putting the pressure on Lee Bowden.
Big time. You're right.
Martin's up 3 places, Stacey, up to 6.
Doing well.
Stacy, the keeper of the swear jar.
Yeah, that's how she afforded a brand new laptop.
Excellent.
I'm looking a bit skint now, so yeah, he needs to start filling it up again.
Yeah, start swearing, will you?
So guys, is this going to be a one-stopper then for everybody?
I literally just looked through my chat messages because normally I get some sort of inclination from one of the drivers as to what's going to happen, but I've got nothing. Assuming, obviously, we've given them all 40% fuel this season, so I'm going to assume that it's going to be a one-stopper with a nice wide pit window. So we may see varying strategies.
I have been told by some of the result guys that, judging by last night's racing, they could potentially be taking tyres as well.
Okay, that's interesting because obviously the official races are usually shorter than ours. I can't remember how long they are, Sam, but I think they only go on for about half an hour, 40 minutes.
You asking the guy that never run into iRacing officials how long the race are? It's 30 minutes, yeah.
Sam,
And
you
in
are
fact,
supposed to be our font of all knowledge.
I know, and I'm even gonna tell you that this is a one-stopper with a question mark to the McLaren.
Ooh.
There
So,
we go.
what, the fuel burn on the McLaren is higher then?
Probably, yeah.
That's what I've heard too, Sam.
And this one hasn't got the flame shooting out the back, so it's not
Yeah,
that.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no afterburner on this model. That's right. Exactly.
We look.
So Jamie Wilson putting pressure on Lee Bowden has allowed Carl Hardy to catch up. So this is now a three-way battle for second position in TCR.
Oh, yes, has disappeared.
Yeah, we just.
Oh, there he is. He's back. Okay.
Again.
Stacy's muted. She must be swearing at the neighbors or something.
Yeah. Perhaps Stacey's putting money in the swear jar.
Uh-oh.
No, just muting due to one of the cats howling, so I thought I'd keep that quiet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and a top tip for the viewers, don't ever go with a South African internet provider.
Side by side, Jamie Wilson and Lee Bowden. That's a close one.
Two good races, though, to be fair.
Oh, yeah. You're very good.
Jamie's got it this time. Is Lee going to try and stick it all out round the outside? Or is that going to open the door for Carl Hardy? No. No to both.
Wow, Lee really hung on well that time, too. Boy, he didn't...
Okay, so the gap. What is the gap, Sam, to Mr. Draper?
Almost 5 seconds now. I'm gonna put it.
Wow.
On the
Okay.
screen.
So let's keep an eye on that gap, folks.
Yeah, that's
And
about 6 seconds, by the way. Yeah.
Wow.
See if Jamie Wilson can do anything about it. He's going to have to deal with Lee Bowden first to make sure Lee doesn't come back at him and slow him down.
Well, look at this. Tyler Newitt is closed in on Rob Ben.
Yeah, Tyler's decided to use some fuel. And obviously, being stable mates, you would hope that they wouldn't do anything silly. Plus, I would have to send both of them a horse's head if they did.
Yeah, they'd have to take a timeout.
Yeah, we'll put them on the naughty step if they touch.
That's right. That's right.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a fun race for Rob to keep Tyler.
Yeah.
And Pete Bingham's closing in on, who was that? Oh, Martin Brennan.
Yeah, I've got new graphics for you Bill. This is written all over the place on your screen, so you should be able to read the names of the drivers.
That's not going to help, but thanks, Sam, because I can't pronounce any of them anyway. You know that.
Yeah, but at least you know who you're talking about.
Okay, thanks, mate.
It doesn't really matter to go away.
That's
So Bill
exactly.
uses the American pronunciation. That's
Whoa!
right.
Oh, Pete, play nice.
Watch out, Pete. Stacy's watching.
I might just have to go on mute and shout at Martin to put his foot down.
Well, if Pete crashes into him, I'll give you his address.
He did give him, coming out of that corner, he did give him a little nudge in the rear wing there. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that was just a come on, put your foot down, mate.
Oh, he's pulling alongside of him.
Yeah, he's got this one done, or he should have.
Martin gave him plenty of room too. That was a good move.
I think we talk about this respecting the league every week, and I know it gets a bit old, but it really is there to see, because we have to come back week after week to race each other, and it's just a whole lot more pleasant if that goes in the, if everybody just plays along. You don't want anybody squabbling and arguing over silly things. So
that's,
you'll get another chance.
Yeah,
that's
very
true. You're
true.
gonna get another chance.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It does always come back. So Pete is obviously faster than Martin at this track, and Martin helped him or didn't fight him with the pass. At some point in the future, at another race, Martin will be quicker than Pete, and Pete will go, well, actually, last time I was faster than you, you let me go. That's the way it happens. David Evers is in the pits.
And I don't know if you mentioned it, but Jamie Wilson has gotten past Lee Bowden for second place, and still very close, but he's gotten by.
Yeah, we did actually mention that about 5 minutes.
I must have been doing my Nana nap, sorry.
So Bill's watching on +1. It must be the time difference, Bill. That's what it is. Oh,
David
is disconnected.
So has Pete Van Gool.
I was actually just wondering if the pit window had opened for the TCRs there when you said David Ayres was in.
Yeah, there must be something going on at home.
That could be.
He jumped to the pits. There was no crash, and that was it. He was gone. Pete Van Gool.
Whoa! Wow.
Well, there's someone's gone in.
What an entry into the pits. That was awesome. Oh, God.
That is Jamie Wilson.
Yeah, it sure was. Wow.
So it looks like the window is open then.
Yeah, we're what, 23 minutes in? Yeah.
Tyler still ahead of... Sorry, Rob still ahead of Tyler. Evening to Andrew Hopley on the chat.
Andrew Hopley, hello, mate.
That's a name we remember.
So, and just to answer your question, the asymmetric boys are concentrating on the VRA GTCC. They've got about 23 teams in it.
Slight exaggeration, but
all right, 22.
Yeah.
So this is
I would
going to
say
go on for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, no, oh. Tyler's giving a hard time there.
Or was he just giving him a little bump draft?
I don't think Tyler's in any big panic to get by him at this point. They still both have a pit stop to do, so he's probably going to wait and see how that shakes out.
Yeah, and if Sam is right, and there's a question over the McLaren's fuel strategy, and obviously we know how good Tyler is at saving fuel. I would guess that Tyler is pretty confident that he can get it done in the pit stop.
Do you think Tyler's going to the Mike Talyanich School of Fuel Saving?
Yeah, he just, I don't know. I can't do it. It's impossible. I don't know how these guys do it, but yeah, Tyler's proven to be very, very good at well, the whole strategy side of racing.
Yep, he is. I think that's what he's studying in school rather than what he's supposed to be studying.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I like this version of the course a heck of a lot better than the one they usually run, I'll tell you.
Yeah, see, Marco Luer is saying he hates Tyler for his fuel saving. We do as well. No, we just hate him in general.
Welcome to the club, Marco.
Oh, Rob's in.
Rob Van in the pits.
No, that is after 26 minutes. So if Rob has run that dry, he is not going to make it to the end.
That's right. And I'm sure
Stefan
Tyler
Goebel is in as well.
Sure, Tyler's written that down in his little book.
Yeah, Tyler's probably got about 25 laps left in the tank. He probably hasn't used any yet. No, and quick scan of the crowd. No, that was too quick. So what's the track? Is it Watkins Glen where some of the people are facing in the wrong direction? We always laugh at it whenever we go there.
I think that's Spa, actually.
Yeah,
Spa, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
I don't care. I'm not watching the race. That's it.
I've paid my money. I shall face in whatever direction I want.
That's right. I can do whatever I want.
Do you think we'll see Tyler now putting in some good lap times now? Now he's got all that, gap in front of him.
Well, yeah, I'm keeping an eye on what he's done. Just want to see what he does on this lap. If it lights up purple, then we know he's having a few laps blast, and then he's going to try and beat Rob out of the pits.
And Frank T-Bosch is making a move on Martin Brennan to the inside of the first corner. Looks like he's gotten it done.
Yeah, again, not much of a fight from Martin, but sometimes that's how you bag yourself the extra points.
I'm going to say
especially in this series, every incident point you get, you lose points for. So yeah, keep it clean.
And I think it's a good way to go to school, see how they make that move down that front straightaway.
Well, it's nice to see that Wobbly Knee comes back in second place, albeit quite a long way back.
Yeah, he's definitely
probably does need to make another stop.
Yeah.
Stefan Goebel stopped already?
Stefan stopped, yeah.
Stefan just stopped, yeah.
Yeah, so just looking at that, and the time in the race, they may have to stop again. So if Wobbly can stay out for a little while longer, he may just, they all might need to stop one more time.
Tyler,
not Tyler. We don't talk about Tyler doing two stops, so.
Tyler was half a second quicker than Wobbly on the last lap, but he's still 0.8 of a second off of his fastest lap. So maybe Tyler is just sticking to a fuel plan.
I think he only wants to make this one stop, it appears.
Yeah, so Gary Craig and Pete Bingham are both in. So Pete doing his normal fuel strategy. I'll do whatever Gary does.
Well, Gary's usually pretty good at it, so why not? Why do you have to think so hard? Let him do it.
Yeah, Gary's got one of those weird scientific minds.
Yes, he does. And there's Mark Draper. I haven't seen him on the broadcast too much tonight.
No, unfortunately, that's what happens when you're out in the lead.
Really?
Oh, guess what I've just received, Bill?
What? A cake?
Yes.
Wow. What kind of cake?
I think it's toffee and walnut.
Oh God, you are disgusting.
Chuck us a bit, Clyde. Sorry. Can't
You
speak
wouldn't
now.
like it.
Well, I
see
could tell you,
Stacey's
Stacey,
fitting
you
in
might
quite
not,
well with Bill.
I could tell you, Stacey, you might not get any cake, but you'll sure hear him munching on it. So just stand by. Oh, shut up, God.
I tell you what, Clyde is just as bad as Alan. Alan does exactly the same when he does live streaming.
Jealousy will get you nowhere.
And Clyde's wife, Katie, is such a sweetheart. I don't know why she waits on this moron hand and foot like she does. God.
Tell him what?
When they use the saying "you can't have your cake and eat it," they're not referring to Clyde, of course.
Yeah.
Bill, Katie said she'll make you one in August.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. I love that woman. She's wonderful. And smart, too.
Yeah.
She's not that smart, mate. She's married to me.
Well, I'll tell you, she either lost a bet or alcohol was involved. One or the other. I'll figure it out. So, Stacey, on your whoops, sorry, Jazz. Go ahead.
No problem. I'm just looking at Mark Draper in between the GT4s there. You know, like I said, the track is the times between the GT4s and the TCRs aren't that big, so we were going to see this mixed up. Oh, Tyler's in.
Here comes Tyler, and we're, what, halfway through the race. A little more past. See, he's doing a one-stopper. Yep.
Yeah, he's a definite one-stopper, isn't he? The question mark is on Rob.
Yeah, I think that him chasing Rob and being behind Rob for that for those few laps, for most of the first half of the race, he's obviously saving some fuel there.
Oh, he's down. Yeah. Looks like he took tires too. He was up in the air. Wow.
Tyler quite often does. Sometimes it's only 2.
Okay, he's coming out of the pits, and there goes Rob. Rob's a little bit ahead of him on the front straightaway. Not much distance, I'll tell you.
I think Rob would need to do a very good job to be able to make it to the end without needing a splash and dash at the end there.
Tyler...
he could possibly save a little bit behind Wobbly, couldn't he? Until Wobbly pit.
I was going to say, if he gets much more distance than if he loses much more distance to Tyler. No, wait a minute. What do I want to say? Splash and dash takes more time than the difference between the two of them right now.
Most definitely, yeah. Yeah, I think Rob's best bet is to try and eke out the fuel that he's got.
Yeah, probably.
Clyde, you can hear you've got a mouthful of cake.
Right, you know.
Looks like Carl needs to get his foot down there.
Yeah. Got Gary Craig closing in on him quickly.
Very, very quickly. Well,
Carl has pitted, and I just heard on the driver chat Gary say about the take a while to warm up Carl. So I think Carl did take tyres.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think the strategy would, if you are going to take tyres, I'd assume that they would take left side. Lots of right corners at this track. So yeah, I think you'll probably see the difference towards the end of the race for those who did take and those who didn't. So
definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what strategy Martin's going with, but he hasn't pitted yet.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like Wobbly's in for his second stop, or well, if we call the first one after he's crashed the first one. He's in now, so Tyler's back on Rob's tail.
So this is a good battle with Gary Craig and Carl Hardy.
Definitely is.
Lee Bowden is in the pit.
Some of these TCRs are eking out pretty good fuel mileage here.
Especially Martin Brennan.
Yeah, he's up on in a podium position at the moment.
Yep, certainly is.
Going back to a replay of Pete.
Bum, 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 bum.
Exactly the same as last time, wasn't it?
Well, is he going to spin or not? He's
Oh,
lost it.
yeah,
Ah,
he's
boy.
I think you can always put your money on that one, Bill.
Yeah.
We need to add some sound effects to our broadcast. I was just thinking of that.
Well, we've got cake eating sounds so far. We've got
yeah, we got those. Yeah.
I think Pete's probably dropped back quite a long way now from.
And
from
Rob
the
Ben's in the
pack.
pits.
Nah, that's a
No, this is
replay, Bill.
I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, you're right.
Just making sure. I think I remember showing him going up, but just to make sure. Yeah, there it is.
Yes, he did. Yep.
Yep.
Tires. Yep.
Yeah, I think Tyler also went up in the air. So yeah, I think
And Stefan Goebel as
Stefan.
well.
Yeah, I think it probably makes sense for them to take right side tires. So I guess we won't see the difference between who has and who hasn't in the GT4 field as they've all taken tires. And look at that, Martin Brennan leading the race.
Go, Martin. You're being watched. Don't screw up.
I might have to take a picture of this, just, for memory. But if I'm right in saying he's the only TCR that hasn't pitted so far?
Yeah. Does Martin run a VR headset?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. You could have gone and flashed him and made him crash.
I've already been up there once and told him to put his foot down. I politely got told to go away.
Bill, there's an old buddy of yours on the chat.
Yeah, who's that?
Mr. Lame O'Connor.
Ah, Lane O'Connor, my buddy. Hey, matey, what's happening?
I tell you what, Tyler's 3-second gap to Rob hasn't changed for quite some time. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
Uh-oh.
Martin, is he out of fuel or was he just...
I don't know. He slowed way down just then, didn't he? I wonder if it's sputtering on him or something, maybe. Get in the pits now. Here he comes. He's coming
in. Take us gone.
He's pushed it.
Yeah, we heard you cleaning the plate.
So we've got a few seconds over 20 minutes left.
Good evening to Ali on the chat.
Who's Ali? Is that Feel the Drive?
Yeah, that certainly is.
Yes, I remember now.
Ali does a bit of sim racing as well. He's just started out. Trying to get him over to TCR. I have mentioned it to him. So, Ali, if you're listening, you can see how much fun the guys are having. Come and join them. You'll have a whale of a time, mate.
Yeah, that's a special message from our PR manager, Stacey, there.
And if Stacey really likes you, she won't let us pick on you. So come on aboard, mate.
Yeah, I think that
And he's a fellow Z driver as well.
Just looking at talking about joining the TCRs, just looking at how tight that field is. Martin made his pit stop basically in first place and came out in 8th. So the TCRs are very difficult to separate.
Carl Hardy's giving Lee Bowden a fits here right now.
Yeah, well, Jamie Wilson has obviously got a gap between himself and Lee Bowden after the pit stop, but he's lost a lot of time to Mark Draper. So Mark is looking for a hat trick of wins, I believe.
Yeah, Jamie's about a little 7.5 seconds behind him, roughly, at this point. It's a nice job, Rob. You went right between the two cones. That was excellent driving. Wow. There's a cone shoved out in the track, and the one on the corner went right between them. It was perfect.
I think Tyler heard me say that the gap was 3 seconds and wasn't moving because he's caught right up to the back of Rob now.
Yeah, it's because he listens to the broadcast, Yaz, and likes to prove people wrong.
Yeah, and now with him being back on the tail, he's once again not using as much fuel as he needs to. So again, I think it's going to come to, and Rob is obviously pushing quite hard, I'm sure. So the longer Tyler stays behind him, the more he's pushing him to go faster. So, and the more he goes faster, the more fuel he's using. So Tyler's a clever little fella, that guy.
Yes, I don't think it'd be long, will it, until Tyler takes over?
Indeed.
I think obviously these two will be chatting to each other in the team channel. Tyler will know Rob's fuel situation. I expect that if Tyler knows that Rob can make it, then Tyler's going to go for a pass. If he knows that Rob's going to have to stop again, and with the gap that these two have got behind them to Stefan, there's absolutely no reason for Tyler to go past him.
Yeah, I think also I think if they do know that Rob is running out of fuel, and as a team seeing that gap that's behind them, I think it might make sense also for Tyler to get in front of him and allow him to save a little bit. Because if he does need to stop, it's really going to push him down. It's going to push him behind Stefan Gubel, and he won't only lose first place, he may lose another.
That's what makes me think that Rob either definitely can make it or definitely can't make it. Because, like you say, otherwise they would just switch positions and let Rob save the amount of fuel he needs to save sitting behind Tyler. Carl Hardy is really having a go at, there we go.
Huh. Yep, they've listened.
Just as we say it.
Rob just needs to tuck in behind him then and follow him around. And I think, Tyler's obviously much better at this than anybody that we know. So if, if Tyler can just keep the pace for a fuel-saving strategy for Rob, he can help him out, just keeping him keep talking to him in his ear and just keep the pace.
So Tyler giving Pete Bingham a flash. And talking about Pete Bingham, Ali's just said on the chat that he needs to get a lot better because he likes to be competitive. You will be competitive. We've got Pete Bingham in this series, and he is the Stevie Wonder of iRacing. Go on, Rob, flash him, because you know he hates being flashed. So just keep your finger on the button.
And they also in the same chat, same team
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
So he's not only Stevie Wonder, he might be like Vincent Van Gogh as well.
And they wonder why Pete has a complex. Holy cow.
With these positions reversed up the front, if Tyler drives away now, then obviously he is not helping Rob.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be driving away. I think they've got it. I think they've been listening to us, and they've got the strategy. At least I hope so.
So what are you saying? We need to stop coaching drivers. Or shall we tell them that we've worked it out and the best strategy is to stop again now?
Well, that would make it interesting. So we've got 13 minutes to go here. So I think what we're really waiting for is to see who's going to be able to make it to the end from those who stopped a little bit early, aka Rob Vin and Stefan Google. They both stopped before the halfway mark, so it's going to come down to whether they can make it to the end. At this stage, only they know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and I think obviously if either of them do have to pit, I think that then will relegate them out of a podium position.
Yeah, that
It's
is a
not a
possibility.
short pit lane, is it?
Yeah, I think Wobbly Knee Camp is a little bit too far behind to overtake Rob. I mean, remember, it's only going to be a quick splash and dash. It's not going to be a very long stop, if it is going to be one. So I think if Rob goes in, he should come out in front of Wobbly Knee Camp, which would keep him in the podium position. Stefan Goebel might be a bit tighter. Cole Hardy's still on the tail of Lee Bowden. Not as close as he was a little bit earlier.
No, I don't know
there.
I don't know whether Lee took tyres and it just took a little while for the tyres to come in, because Carl was definitely, hassling him. But yeah, I say Lee's just pulled that little bit of a gap now.
Yeah, and it looks like Mark Draper's pulled away at the front again. Jamie Wilson is a little bit behind him, but it looks like he's driving out on his own. Yeah, it looks. He needs to find a challenge this so far this season. This is race 3. He's won the first 2, so he's showing some quick pace up front. But yeah, there's still battles going on behind him, which is really great to see still.
So just over 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, Mark Draper's just shown a little bit more than the other drivers at this stage in the third race of the season. He's just been a touch faster than any of the other guys. It's been really good to see.
Yeah, I think the way I describe it is consistently good.
Yeah, he hasn't made a mistake yet. You know, he's put the car in the right place. He's controlled it, and yeah, it obviously shows he's definitely an experienced character.
So wondering if Martin has got anything for Pete.
Yeah,
I've just popped upstairs just to check with what's going on. I know he's took a fresh set of tyres. He just seems pretty cool up there. I think he's just chilling this evening.
Okay, that's not a bad plan.
It looks like Tyler has pulled away from Rob. So yeah, it's going to come down to Rob and Stefan with who's going to go the longer, who's going to make it through the last 9 minutes.
Yeah, and if Sam's right and the fuel usage on the McLaren is higher, you would have to put Stefan as favourite to get to the end, but we don't quite know yet. So it was 26 minutes last time for Rob, so he's going to be pitting probably, I would guess, next time round.
Well, remember that we saw Stefan pull in behind Rob when he made the stop, so Stefan didn't go much longer than him.
Yeah, I think the Porsche just uses its fuel better. I think Stefan possibly was in his fuel window. Obviously, I could be wrong. But I think... Oh, leader's lost it.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. Tyler's done a Pete impersonation there.
Yeah, and that's brought Rob right back up to him again.
Well, you don't see that often.
You certainly don't, do you? He'll blame it on the cat or something.
He's just practicing doing handbrake turns. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, Sam has accidentally pressed that slow-mo button.
It looks like he's
Nice
just put
bit of
his... a good drift better.
Yeah, it was right till the end, wasn't it?
He's just looked like he's just put a foot on the grass coming in there, which is just giving a little bit of slip. But he's still in the front, not as far, but let's see what happens.
He will be angry with himself about that. Even though he's... There we go. Told you.
We've got our answer. Now we need to just watch what Stefan does. How long can Stefan still go?
Stefan will stay out. Is he going to prove me wrong? No, he has stayed out.
So it's just a matter of seeing if he can make it all the way to the end.
Yeah, so Rob was stationary for less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's come out well ahead of
Wobbly.
He's
well ahead of Wobbly, isn't he? So that is... So Pete Bingham is up with Frank T-Bosch there, with Stefan getting in the middle of them.
Yeah, Stefan needs to get through this quickly, especially if my suspicions are correct that he still needs to make a stop. You know, he needs to get through this quickly to be able to at least see off any kind of challenge from Rob. That being said, Rob had quite a lead on him going into the pit, so yeah, if he does need to stop, I think Rob will get him.
So he's got it done. Yeah, he's in. He's in.
Yep. So now we just watch Wobbly's time and see where he comes out.
Yeah, so as Yaz predicted, the battle is on for third. This is the battle for sixth in TCR. Oh, they're going to be right close together, them two, Wobbly and Stefan. Stefan will be ahead.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh,
Game on.
so you've got 3.5 minutes to, what's that going to be, 2 laps?
Yeah. Where is the leader? Let's see what happens when he crosses the line. So, yes, I think Tyler is about to start the penultimate lap. Pete's
So
having a
Stefan will
go
have-
here.
That's a good move. Or is it? Not done yet.
Oh, are we going to get another one in? This is going to be so close. Yes, we are. Because it's not as close as I thought it was. So, yes, leader on the penultimate lap.
Well done, Pete.
Good pass
Wow.
by Pete through a good couple of corners.
Kept it clean.
Oh, Lee Bowden is back at Jamie Wilson.
It's a good couple of battles out in track there now at the moment. In the last couple of laps.
And they're really closing in on Mark in front of them. They're only 2.5 seconds behind him now.
Yeah, what is going on with the TCRs? Surely they're not. Are they tight on fuel?
Shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, no, but.
And someone tried to be clever and they underfueled and made a mistake.
Onboard view with Jamie Wilson.
Send it.
Whoa.
Send it, Lee. The series of corners you want to be where Jamie Wilson is, because that's inside on the last corner. So
Yeah, I think Jamie see that one coming.
Yeah.
But
I don't think Lee's just gonna.
He was very good on the brakes, wasn't he?
I don't think Lee's gonna just lay down and let it go. I think he's gonna definitely give it another go on what.
And the overall leader is right behind him.
He is, yeah, and Tyler has just started the last lap. So if he gets past these two, that will be the last lap for them as well.
So we're going to squabble all the way to the end. And Lee's got
Lee's got it done at the moment.
I don't know whether Tyler's going to go through or not, just bide his time behind them. He's in no rush to get to the finish line now. He's got quite a big lead over second place, so he doesn't have to risk anything. I'm sure he'll be happy to tuck in behind him.
Yeah, which means these guys are going to get another lap.
Lee Bowden appears to be pulling away a little bit from Jamie Wilson.
Looks like Tyler's coming through for the win again this week. After taking a break from first
Here
place
comes
last
Tyler on his final turn. Onto the front straight.
Yeah, so good win for Tyler Newitt.
Tyler.
week.
Very well
done,
done.
Tyler.
Figured that one out to a T. Good job.
We should see Rob coming
Stefan
across.
Wobbly, thought they were closer than that. But Rob Venn is going to come home in second place.
Another great finish for Rob Venn.
Yeah, I think it was a really good race from Rob, leading for quite a bit of it. I think it would have been a lot tighter had he not had to stop twice.
It's really close now, isn't it? There's still half the track left.
Wow.
I
Lee
can
Bowden is
imagine
really-
that these guys are tight on fuel.
Wow.
Well, it doesn't look like Lee Bowden's tight on fuel because he's going a lot faster than everybody else.
He sure is.
So,
Maybe Mark Draper's a little nervous about fuel. I don't know.
Well, Mark's last lap was a 58. Lee's was a 56.
yeah, he can
Into the
only
final
put his
complex
stats
now.
and he's right on his tail now. So
Very close.
could he make a move into the last corner?
Very possibly. Gaining ground very quickly. Look at that.
I think Mark's alright if he doesn't cough.
It looks like he's got it covered.
Yeah,
Just about made it there.
Wow, close
Good
finish.
win for Mark. Good second
well,
place for Lee. Jamie's
Yeah,
going to
that's a
come
very
home
good drive
third.
from Lee.
Or
Jamie,
is he? Or is he? They crossed the line, have they?
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a very good drive from Lee Bowden as well. What's this Carl Hardy putting into the pits? Oh, Frank T-Bosch. Oh, wow, what a race we've had. Very interesting.
Yeah, that certainly was a cracker. Kept us guessing right to the end. Let me just get this saved. He says, and now he can't find any of his replay. But there it is.
Okay, the race results are up for GT4. Tyler Newitt first for BSTV Esports Orange. Second, Rob Venn, BSTV Esports Yellow. Third, Stefan Goebel, VTS Germany. Fourth, Wobbly Kneecap, Next Level E Series Team. And Simon Van Dyke left early for fifth, Next Level E Series Team.
Okay, over to the TCRs, and Mark Draper took home the win just for work guard by result. Lee Bowden chased him all the way in second for Sim Racing Channel. Jamie Wilson, we're thinking light on fuel for Team Chimera, finishes on the third step of the podium. Fourth was Paul Hardy, I was going to say then. Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Results. Then the pair of BSTV Esport green drivers, Gary Craig in fifth, Pete Bingham in sixth. Frank T-Bosch came home in seventh for Result Clothing iRacing Team. Martin Brennan eighth for Safeguard by Result. David Ayres in ninth and left early for Result Clothing iRacing Team. And I don't think Pete Van Gool started the race. So we have waiting for us our race winner, Tyler Newitt. Let's get him in straight away. Tyler Newitt, congratulations on the win. Tell us all about it.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty relaxed, if I'm honest. I knew Rob had been struggling with the fuel saving all week. The McLaren is just a gas guzzler. It just sucks it up. So wouldn't be surprised to see him in a Porsche soon, to be honest. But I knew from the get-go he wasn't going to make it. I was telling him the whole way. Once Stefan and Simon had their coming together and Viva had his issues, I was just saying, save fuel, give it a try. But I think he had done it in practice and not been able to do it, so he was figuring he would just push and see what he could do with that. And while it did work out for second, it made my race in my life fairly easy because I could just save and make it.
And we did see you have a code brown. Sam obviously accidentally pressed the slow-mo button. Did we lose concentration, or are you going to blame it on the cat?
No, I was just pushing for fastest lap because I knew Stefan had it. I think he ended up with it anyway. But I was up on that lap, so I was really pushing and just broke on the grass a little bit, which is not ideal in any car for the most part, except rallycross and stuff like that. But no, just a little break on the grass, and that was that. But I had the margin, so it was not not too much of a concern.
Excellent. So before we let you go, Tyler, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. BSTV Esports, of course. Great day for the end. Rob keeps finding more and more pace, and if he can get the fuel management down, or gets in a car that's better on the fuel, he'll be. I think there'll be a lot more 1-2s in our future. So, shout out to Rob, Gary, and Pete also for being in the chat. I think they both had okay races. I know Pete had a couple spins, but everybody on the team and in the other series as well. It's always good fun to race with people you like racing around. So that's good. Shout out to EDF Motorsports for sponsoring the series, and all the other series sponsors, Race Tech, 365 hosts, Virtual Racing Association, everybody who puts these on. We just got to get a few more GT4s to turn out, and it'll be even better than it already is.
Excellent. Well, thanks as always for joining us in the booth. Your GT4 winner, Tyler Newitt.
Thank you.
Look easy.
Okay, let's now bring in our TCR winner, Mr. Mark Draper. Welcome to the booth.
Hi. How was it?
Come on, tell us all about it. What was going on at the end? Was you tight on fuel?
I had no tyres left. The rest took tyres. I didn't. And I thought they were going to be fine. And I was at like 73 on the front. I thought I'll be able to make these last. And no. Lee and Jamie were just catching me hand over fist at the end. And I was just thinking I've just got to have enough pace here just to hang on. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I was just a bit lucky. One more lap and they would have had me. Definitely.
Yeah, because you got out to quite a good lead, and then we obviously being that far in front, we didn't see a great deal of you on the broadcast because we was concentrating on the battles.
Oh yeah.
And then it was pointed out to us that the 8-second gap was down to 2 seconds, and then the next thing, Lee was right behind you, and we're like, whoa, what's going on here? Are these guys tight on fuel or? But yeah, tyres obviously they make a big difference. But yeah. Apart from that, that's 3 out of 3, mate. You're taking it to this TCR field this season.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun, and yeah, I don't know. It's just I've seemed really switched on with these tracks lately. Normally I have like a couple of bad ones, but yeah, this I actually really like this track.
And next week we're at Sonoma. What you like around there? Are we going to see number 4?
I've never raced Sonoma, I don't think. So that'd be interesting.
Ooh.
So yeah, a bit of practice needed.
Not actually. Let me just have a look and see what the weather condition. Oh, it's afternoon as well. It's going to be like 900 degrees.
Like it was
No
today.
grip. Yes, yeah. So maybe think about that tyre strategy for next week.
Yeah. Oh, I have been lap practicing in the 40 degrees, but I didn't think it would get up to this height, this temperature. And I thought I was getting like 80% tyres and thinking, well, I can make them last, but clearly not.
Well,
learned something tonight at least.
You made them last, just long enough to take home the win. Any shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go, Mark?
Just everyone who watches the stream, you guys, and just all the boys in the league, as always.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on 3 on the trot, and hopefully we'll see you next week at Sonoma.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's bring in our second place GT4 driver, Rob Gas Guzzler Venn.
Thank you.
So,
Gas guzzler than me, but anyway.
Tyler has just said that you need to switch to the Porsche. Have you got any plans of switching to the Porsche, or are you going to stick with the Macca?
But to be honest, the decision point is after the next race. So I'm going to give the McLaren a shot at Sonoma, and then we'll see after that. The problem is I do like driving the McLaren. It's a pity it like drinks fuel. That's the problem. But...
and you certainly showed your pace tonight. Pole position, a great jump at the start, and you obviously knew from practice that you wasn't going to be able to fuel save, so you just went for it, and you was eking out some good gaps over Tyler there.
I just had the strategy. I wanted to stretch the field as much as possible. To be honest, it wasn't. I knew what Tyler was doing with his strategy, so I sort of knew I didn't have a chance there. It was more that like the other guys, Stefan Weber and Simon, that I was sort of trying to stretch the field and sort of force them into doing 2 stops, which sort of worked in the end. It was all quite surprising, but it was a good race.
And this this pace that you found this season, is it a case of we've just been to tracks that you like? Is it the pace of the McLaren, or is it the pace of Rob Venn?
To be honest, I think it's a little bit of the car, and it's a little bit of, to be honest, I'm doing a lot more practice now. So I'm sort of focusing on one car, and I'm putting a few more hours in and stuff like that. And I think that's starting to sort of pay dividends. It'll be interesting if I do go back to the Porsche, sort of where I end up, because then you will find out sort of how much is sort of me, how much is the car, and that type of thing. But I really like the McLaren, and sort of by liking the car and sort of getting more, having better results and stuff like that, it motivates you to practice more. And it's sort of funny because it's like you get momentum then, and you can sort of work on work on something every week and try and push it a little bit harder. I've been working quite a lot on my trail braking, stuff like that over the last couple of weeks, just to try and develop myself to be a bit quicker as time goes on. So it's been really good.
Well, whatever you're doing, mate, keep doing it, because it's certainly working. And we look forward to another BSTV Esports 1-2, but with you on top and Tyler in second.
That's the next challenge. It's sort of how do I get in front of Tyler? And it's difficult because you're very tempted. If I move to the Porsche and that type of thing, I'm sort of locked into, I have to beat him in pure driving ability or strategy.
Yes.
Whereas if I'm in the McLaren, you do wonder, okay, if there's a track that suits the McLaren well, then I've got a better chance doing it that way, maybe, because I don't think I could beat Tyler in a straight fight at the moment. But it'd be interesting.
Yeah, well, top tip for you, mate. Just email Tyler's mum. Tell her that he's way behind with his homework, and she'll stop him from racing, and then you'll get the win.
I was trying to tempt him with the fastest lap at the end of that race. Because I was saying, okay, Tyler, you ought to pit for tyres and have a go at getting the fastest lap, but it didn't quite work.
Yeah, well, there's all sorts of dirty tricks you can use. Anyway, fella, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to EDF Motorsport for sponsoring the championship and stuff like that. Shout out to the BSTV team. Yeah, I mean, you guys for putting the stream on. Yeah, and all the other drivers and stuff, because it's really really good fun. I really enjoy this league.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure to have you in the booth. Second place GT4 driver, Rob Venn.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So next up, let's get Mr. Jamie Wilson in the booth. Good evening, Jamie.
Evening. Hello.
Good evening. Right. So we were, as usual, you won't be surprised to hear, absolutely, totally wrong at the end of that race. We thought the TCRs may have been struggling on fuel. But Mark Draper tells us that his tyres were shot. What was your issue at the end? Was it fuel, or what was you affected with tyres as well?
Well, a bit of both. It was fuel on the last lap. I just underfueled slightly. I was just playing it a bit too marginal, and Tyler was ever so close to lapping us to remove that problem, but didn't quite get to us. So it kind of forced an extra lap. And at that point, to be honest, I'd noticed that a bit late. So I was just coasting around on the last lap. I couldn't have lost a position, so it didn't matter. In case it got ugly up front, and I could have coughed across the line if that had happened, but no joy there.
Yeah, well, there's no harm in a cough across the line as long as it coughs after the line. It's not a problem. But apart from that, again, you had some fantastic pace in this car. We see you have a really good battle there with Lee. You looked like you was sizing him up for a couple of laps and then made the move on him. How are you finding the racing? I know we're not setting any records for grid sizes, but the TCR field is very, very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, and there's evidence of that, prior to this series. If you remember the Circuit of the Americas V8 race, which had like 10 cars in it or something, and that was like one of the best races that you guys have ever
Indeed,
broadcast.
yeah.
So the quality of field is great, even though it's it's quite small. I think a lot of us are there or thereabouts on the same pace, which is why that is. But yeah, no, it was really really fun. It was interesting from a strategy point of view in terms of when you pit. In Mark's case, do you take tyres? That was a gamble he took. I took the gamble of pitting quite early. That cost me in the end. There's a bit of sort of 4D chess going on. May not be that evident on the broadcast, but yeah, it's quite interesting. And at the start of it, where Mark had a bit of a jump on the rest of us because we were all having our handbags going on behind. I was just saying to Carl in the waiting room, like, we're just trying to form up a train and don't make mistakes and that sort of thing. And that's why I wasn't really forcing the issue with Carl at the start. I just wanted to sit there and try and propel us together as a group. But yeah, in the end, Carl ran wide, and I was just like, well, it's going to cost me so much time to still sit behind him. I just had to go for it, and then yeah, it was a sort of rinse and repeat. Once I eventually got up to Lee, bide my time, and yeah, the opportunity presented itself, and there you go.
And you took it, and yeah, and the rest, as they say, is history. Next time out, we're at Sonoma. What are your thoughts about that track?
I haven't raced there for years and years and years. Probably in the Skippy or something in 2009 or something, a long time ago. Do you know which layout it is? That's something I haven't looked up.
I believe it's Cup Historic.
Oh, a weird one. Okay, I'll probably never race that particular layout. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one, especially if it's hot, because that's quite a sort of bit like Watkins. You turn right a lot around there, so
yeah, it's an afternoon session, so I'm guessing it's going to be about 800 degrees in the shade.
Yeah. So yeah, the lefts are going to take a pounding, not unlike here. Turn 3 just kills tyres here, and Lime Rock did as well. So. You need to put an anti-clockwise track in the middle of it to sort of balance it out.
Yeah. I don't even know if we're in Brazil at all this season, but let's have a quick No. So, no, get used to the tyre wear, mate. Well, you know, it was an absolutely fantastic battle. I think this is going to rage for the whole season. I said at the start that, you know, you look down that TCR fields and any one of those drivers can get a win. And I'm sure yours is coming. So keep up the good work. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
You guys, as usual, looking forward to watching this back. You know, the other guys, as you say, you know, Mark is catchable. That's what makes this exciting. The results you see, and you know, on the points table and whatever are one thing, but there's definitely opportunity, not just for me, but as you say, for you know, Carl, for Lee. You know, we could all be up there and fighting with him if we get everything together, and that's exciting. It means that you go into these races, you know, with a real chance, and yeah, looking forward to the next one.
Excellent. Well, thanks as always for joining us in the booth. Third place TCR driver Jamie Wilson.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so next up we have the man, the myth, the legend, Harl Cardy.
Very sweet of you, young man.
That was a nice name, wasn't it? Yeah, you sounded like a film
Not quite
star.
sure. I'm not quite sure I deserve that one, but I'm taking it.
Please don't take this the wrong way, but you had some fantastic pace around here.
Really?
Yeah, I see you giving it to guys that you don't normally give it to.
Man, it's hard. It was a hard one tonight. Really hard.
In what way? As in, the track, the tactics?
No, the track's fine. It was the heat. Obviously, I look at what it's going to be, set the session up on Monday, struggled like anything Monday, jumped in the officials last night. It was lovely and cool. Sweet. Done really well last night. And then, obviously, tonight, I didn't do so well. But it's all right. It's good. Everyone had to cope with it.
Yeah, looking at the three drivers in front of you, mate, I wouldn't say that you didn't do very well.
No, I'm quite happy with what I've done, but I destroyed my tyres.
Yeah,
and I don't know how Mark done that whole race on that one set.
He nearly didn't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've just been chatting.
It nearly backfired on him. We actually thought he was running out of fuel, but he had like 0 tyres left. But like I said, the three drivers that finished in front of you are class. We know that. Any idea what happened to David?
He just weren't getting on with the track, I think, and he was struggling.
Excellent. Rage quit. Love that. So
no, we've renamed it. It's Fun Quit.
It's Rage Quit, mate.
No.
I will have to send you messages tomorrow about that. Tell him about the fines for rage quitting.
I think I actually talked him into it because I said, if you give up, I'm going to slap you tomorrow. I'm guessing he wants a little slap.
Well, I suppose it depends on where you're going to slap him, but you keep that between you two, please. But I know you said you struggled with the heat around the track, but an enjoyable race for you and a decent result.
It was all right while I was battling with people, and then towards the end, obviously they left me for dead, and then I was just concentrating on Gary behind me, just trying to keep him away. But it was all right. Yeah, I don't mind it. I just crack on, get on with it, don't I? So.
Yeah, very true. Sonoma next week. Thoughts on that? It's going to be hot.
Well, I know the track, but I can't remember how it goes. So that'll be all new. But I've got BRA before that.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. I can't remember where we are this week.
Okayama.
Oh, lordy me.
Oh yeah. Okayama in a GT.
Cars round Okayama. Yes. Okay. We'll have some of that. Okay, mate. Well, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Just a result, lads. I mean, just Frank's making a hell of an improvement. So is Martin. But yeah, all good. All you guys.
I think Stacey was upset tonight because she didn't get any extra pennies in the swear jar. So
He's quite relaxed, wasn't he? We've even started a swear jar in the actual Discord room for result.
Excellent.
The only thing is, I think I've put the most in there.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Stacey, any questions for Carl?
I
Be
did
nice.
ask earlier, but I was off. I know you were doing all the interviews, so I haven't really got anything to say.
Good.
I was just hogging it, to be fair, because everybody was quiet. Okay, well, in because of that, we shall let you go. Congratulations on your 4th place in TCR, Carl Hardy.
Cheers. Thank you, ladies and
Well done,
gents. All right, cheers, Stace. Take care.
Okay, so we have one last driver to interview. Stacey, do you want to do it? No. Yes.
You always put me on the spot. Who have you got?
Pete.
Oh yeah, give us Pete.
Yeah, right. He's in. Over to you.
Good evening, Pete. How are you?
I'm all right. It's fairly warm where I am in the country, so time for a shower after this.
Excellent. What do you think about your performance tonight?
If I hadn't spun it and lost 15 seconds, then I'd been a lot closer to Gary at the end. And if we'd calculated where we were on the track and got ahead of Tyler, or stayed ahead of Tyler, then I think Gary could have at least got onto the back of Carl a bit more. There was that opportunity there, but the laps just didn't work out that way. Thankfully, Carl Hardy puts on the practice sessions on a Monday that reflect the temperatures here, because this is significantly hotter than the official series at the moment, which we raced yesterday as practice like we normally do. And yeah, I had a bit of a bumpy night though. David has caught me out with early braking into that corner just there. That's on the replay of the broadcast at the moment. As we come down that little corkscrew thing. So, and I apologise for that, but I just didn't see it. And if I hadn't freaked out when Gary was braking later than I was when he was behind me, I'm not used to being in front of people, so I let off the brake and let it off too much and ended up on the grass. So, bit silly really, but I could have. I'm all right round here. It's not everybody's favourite track, but I quite like this version of it. I hate the other one, the one with the tight chicane.
Well, I thought you did pretty well. I mean, you did some really good moves. You actually impressed a few of us on the chat. So, yeah, I think you did a good drive, mate. So you didn't come last. So well done, Pete.
I know, yeah. Not coming last is a success. Brilliant, isn't it? No, thanks for that. Yeah, I had a good time on the tyres tonight. I'm less aggressive on the tyres in this car. And I'm better on fuel than some of the people in this car as well. Not that that benefits us this season, because it's a one-stop race for every race, I think. Gary informed me of. But yeah, I did some good safe overtakes today, which I was happy about. A little bit of bumping, but that's what TCR racing is all about.
Certainly is. You got any shout outs before you go, Pete?
EDF Motorsports, absolutely. BSTV, obviously. You guys for putting on the broadcast, and Gary for being a great teammate, and we help each other along. He's got a new set of pedals now that he's about to get his screwdriver kit onto. So I expect all his troubles, because he's suffering at the minute. His brake pedal is clicking as he presses it, so it's not braking enough, and then when he presses further, it suddenly jolts forward and he locks up his tyres. So he's got a new set of pedals, so expect him to be a bit racier next time.
Oh, one to watch next week then, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's usually significantly faster than me, so I'm usually mid-pack to back-pack. And he's usually at the pointy end like he was last season. It was whatever happened in week 13 when we were doing some racing, some practice racing, and something's gone wrong in his pedals, so that's why he's less competitive at the minute.
Thank you, Pete. Anything from you, Clyde?
No. Interesting to Pete to say that he had a spin. We obviously missed that on the broadcast, so we'll have to go back and find that for our bloopers reel. But No, great race all round, I think. So well done, Pete.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so absolutely fantastic race there. Stacey, give us a quick recap on what we've just seen.
Oh, I really enjoyed the battles with the GT4s. Tyler makes everything look so easy. I'm hoping we're going to get a few more, GT4s in there to really mix up the pack, so everyone's got someone to race against. TCRs, as you know, they're all really competitive. Really enjoyed that though. I really thought Lee was going to go for the win. I think one more lap there, and I definitely think he would have done it. But yeah, really, really good race from the guys today. Well done to everybody.
And summary from you, please.
Yeah, I think Stacey's actually summed it up quite well. The TCRs are closer than ever, as usual, as what we've come used to. And then in the GT4s, a bit of a small field, but it was nice to see some, nice to see Rob being up front for quite a bit of the time. Tyler coming away with a win in the end. But yeah, it's a good race all around.
Okay, and Sam, from the cameraman point of view, as we're used to in this league, the cameras are constantly pointing at the action and the overtakes rather than the crashing. So even with a small field, they keep you busy.
As always, it's a great pleasure to broadcast this one. Very few crashes. I know there's not a lot of cars on track, but it's still great, good racing. And as mentioned in the broadcast, I think by Yaz, it's very fair play from all of the competitors. So it's great to watch, great to broadcast. So yeah.
Okay, I've been accused of bringing wobbly knee camp bad luck on the chat in Discord. So from me, race recap from me, and I'll also do my driver of the meeting whilst I'm talking. I thoroughly enjoyed that. As we said at the start, the TCR battle is just immense. It's gonna go all the way. And even the GT4s, with the small field, Tyler has been head and shoulders for a little while, especially with his tactical nous. But Rob has got the pace on him, I think, sometimes. We know Wobbly Kneecamp's got pace. We know Stefan Goebel's got pace, and I'm sure Simon Van Dijk is going to get better. So even with a small field, I think that the GT4 battle is certainly, I think the podium positions are going to change throughout the season. My driver of the meeting, I normally put the others on the spot first, but it's got to be a really easy one tonight for me anyway. And it's going to go to 3 on the trot, Mark Draper. Sam, your driver of the meeting, please.
Yep, with the microphone on, it's better. Geez, that's all. Is that the correct answer?
No.
Okay, let's go for Mark Draper then.
Okie
300 trot.
dokie.
I don't think I put him in. So there we go.
A Mark Draper there from Sam. Who's next on my list? Stacey, your driver of the meeting, please.
Lee Bowden.
Oh, okay. So
Good to see him back, and I just think he did a smashing race today. I think he was really good. So well done, Lee.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. And Yaz, your driver of the meeting, please.
Well, we all forget that Martin led the race for a few laps, which is something I don't think we've ever predicted or seen yet. Shout out to him, but I have to say that my driver of the day is also Lee Bowden.
Okay.
Really had it in the end.
Another vote for Lee Bowden. And Bill had to leave us early. I think he was due his nana nap. But Bill has, I believe, and I'm not going to say it until get the message back up, but I believe Bill has gone for Lee Bowden as well. So 3 votes for Lee Bowden tonight. So our leaderboard, which Sam will update in due course, now looks Mark Draper has 5 votes, Lee Bowden has 4, and Andy Perks has 3. They are our top 3. So it's been an absolute blast again. Thanks to all the drivers that turn up and put on this fantastic show every week. Thanks to everybody in the chat that joins in. We do appreciate it. Thanks to Lee's stepmom as well for proving me right. Not that I need proving right because I'm always right anyway, but just nice to be backed up with it. Thanks to EDF Motorsports for sponsoring the series. Don't forget, make sure you drop this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and make sure you join our Facebook page. And that way you will never miss one of our races again. We are back on what I don't even know what we've got going on this week, Sam. I'll tell you what, I'll get the calendar up.
We've got VRA on Sunday from Okayama, and we've got on Monday the next level GT3 Cup from somewhere in the world.
That is
Monza.
Monza, yes. So we're back Sunday and Monday, and then obviously we're back on Wednesday with this series from Sonoma. So it just leaves me to say good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll let the guys and girls say good night, and then we'll close the broadcast. So good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. Thanks for having me. See you next week.
Yeah, and not all at the same time. Good night, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll catch you on Sunday.